And thanks for joining me again as I go on another wee walk round the garden and the bulb houses to see what's happening now we're into March. The earlier narcissus, as you can see, have gone over. We're getting later ones now. The crocus are starting to show signs of the sunshine we had the other few days and burning off. There's little corydalis seeding around in here. There's fritillarias. I'm not sure what they all are yet until they flower, and then I might get a chance of understanding. But as I've written about, I love this, the inside outside aspect of this time of year, and it's almost like the transfer of the flower power from the bulb houses, as this has probably just edged off its peak, starting to look a wee bit tired. The crocuses, some of the narcissus going over as well. So it's edged off its peak as the garden starts to gain pace. So we've all sorts in here. There's a wee fritillaria down there. This is Fritillaria alberiana flowering down there. Quite nice to see it still hanging on in the sand beds. The wee muscaries and the likes. You can have so much fun in just a wee bed like this in a greenhouse if you don't know what to do with it. Fill it with sand and start getting in some bulbs. The side that I spoke about was giving me trouble, the sand. I've put a new, as you can see, a new very gritty layer on the top to work in to try and improve the structure, and the challenge is to get more growing in here. This end as well is starting to recover. There's another fritillaria here coming. Could be Montana, I'm not sure. Wait until it flowers, open properly, and we'll have a look. The first of the Tropaeolum tricolorum is just starting to show colour. Took a big hit in the frost and the freezing, but some survived. So let's move round and out, have a look in the garden. I was wanting to look round here because I showed you this rhododendron previously where it had been frosted off. Rhododendron pachysanthem. Some of the flowers came out way too early in the winter, the wrong side of the year, and they got frosted off, but here it's got more buds coming now, so we'll still get a good display. And above it, rhododendron thompsoni, which always loses so many flowers in the wind. The petioles are very tender and soft and break off very easily. And there you can see the corydalis solidus starting to come out, and that'll be the next wave, the creamy white corydalis mulcensis. Down here the cyclamen comb just keep going on and on, giving us more and more flower and colour. Oh, and there's, oh, God, get these old knees down. If you think getting down's a trouble, you should hear the noise getting up. So there's a Erythronium caucasicum, the pink form. We've got it in a couple of places. But as I've said so often, the cyclamen comb just loves to grow in combination with the moss. There you can see it seeding all over the place, and even seeding down into the edge of the path. When it seeds out into the path like that, it's quite good, because I can either choose to leave it, or we can sort of dig it up, transplant them and put them somewhere else, get them established somewhere else. Now then, we'll go round into another of the bulb houses where we've got the plants in pots. So this is where most of these flowered much earlier and have gone over. But there are some now with the ones with more Cantabricus in them come a bit later, so you've got this very wide open. It's just an unnamed seedling that I found when I was repotting one year, and it's a pretty wee thing. This bigger yellow is Narcissus confusus. Came to us originally as Perez Shitzicano. It's had various names, but I think it's been settled that it's called Confusus. There's more here. And then this is, I think this is the one that Anne called Trumpet Voluntary. It's facing the wrong way for me to see it properly, but there we go. Have I got you in the screen? Because I can't see that screen in this light. This lovely wee dark Bulbicodium hybrid. I've got a few pots of that there. And along to this lovely little miniature Cyclaminius type. One of Anne Wright's, and this is the one she's named Maggie Young. And it's sitting there right next to this one, which is one of the Cross Susani types, Triandrus and Cantabricus hybrids. Again, Anne Wright's, and this one she's named Ian Young. So there's Maggie and Ian Young sitting there. Round here there's a mixture of some more of Anne Wright's miniatures, pale miniatures. Another Susani type, along with some Cantabricus from our own seed. Many of them going over now. But there's so many of these pretty little miniatures. If you don't have a lot of space and you just want to grow a few, these are all growing in 7cm pots. So you don't need a lot of space to grow quite a selection of them. And they're just so charming. But you see all this grassy, all this stuff, real tangle, you think, oh dear, what's that? It looks terrible, but that is next year's flowers getting built and worked on, so you need all that tangle of foliage. Round here is, yeah, I still grow some stuff from seeds, so these are some Primula veris seedlings that I sowed last year. They'll get pricked out right into the garden soon. Fritillaria stenanthera. So go out and have a little walk to see what's still out. As I say, it's the snowdrops are starting to be tired. Flowers are going over. And it's the start of the next major wave, having been through the snowdrops and the Eranthus. As it all goes over, it's the Corydalis wave. So Malcensis and the various Solidus, along with the early Erythroniums. So we'll go up and go round that way. Maybe come here and see. This is a nice early form of Corydalis solida. Nice pink one. But I'm seeing all sorts of Primula veris and vulgaris. The anemones. Carpet of anemone foliage. There's so much life just starting to burst through the ground and just waiting to come up. It's such a promising time of year. This wee bed again full a lot of foliage, which is good to feed up the bulbs, and there we've got more. Primula vulgaris, and the one at the base of the tree that I was mimicking from observing what I see in the wild, really growing well. But you can see how the aranthus are, and the snowdrops are starting to go over, they're losing their sparkle. Down here, one of the old troughs is Primula marginata starting to show flower, and sacs oppositifolia. And some of the other saxes are just starting to show their flowers as well, so won't be too long before they pop open. Up here we've got the wee Scilla silberica, the pink form. And these are Aranthus Guinea Gold. Going so well with the wee Narcissus cyclaminius minimus. These are the hardier ones that will settle outside. Cyclaminius is one that does like to be out and will naturalise in moister areas. I've even seen it well naturalised in lawns. I just love primroses, and for a long time we didn't grow them. We used to grow lots of primulas early on, whole range of primulas, but as things got a bit hotter and drier and we got an infestation came in of vine weevil, we lost nearly all our collection of primulas. And it's only in recent years I've started to be raising primroses again from seed. Primula marginata is a different story. It's a tough wee survivor, and we've got several forms around the garden. If I just turn round to there where the erythronium, they're all waiting, just starting to come up. I see some dense cannas there. Last time it was the Iris Catherine Hodgkin. Now it's the Corydalis malcensis and solidus. We've taken over the bed and using that space until it's time for the erythroniums to come. I see trilliums and all sorts. Here's hellebores, alliums, Fritillaria imperialis. Quite a lot there going to be in flower. You'll always get stems in flower alongside stems that are not built back up, and they'll flower in another year, so they don't necessarily build back to flower every single year. You know, you've got to be patient as a gardener, understanding. Some years they just take a wee bit longer to get over and grow enough to do a flower. Coming around, this is this hellebore from the Eric Smithy group. Pretty little thing. More hellebores. They even seed out onto the edge of the path. The Corydalis with the erythronium leaves. There's the pot with all the Corydellus malcensis. It's the wee elm, Jacqueline Hillier, is it? There was all stunted elm, and the Corydellus got in there. This is the little bed of specials where you can see the white Erythronium caucasicums there. There's Eranthus Guinea Gold. There's a heap of Narcissus cyclaminius. It's not growing too strongly, but that's one of the Erythronium dens canis with the browny yellow pollen that came from Ukraine. Right up into the dark and shady spots. And across the beds, across